Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP SPORTSCAST. Fatima dominated their Trinidad counterparts, Caribs, in the over 35 division, while QPCC annihilated Ashkar in the men's division in the Diamond Mineral Water Indoor Hockey Festival. And in the women's division, GBTI GCC dropped Old Fort in the third day's play at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. Stanford Howard followed this report.
Fatima and Caribs were the first to grace the sports hall with their presence in a well-fought battle on Friday morning. Randall Ramsamy of Caribs scored a double through field goals in the 8th and 15th minute, the only 2 goals scored for his side, as Derek Lee from Fatima scored one in the 12th minute in the first half. Fatima in the second half went full steam ahead as they pocketed 3 more goals to seal the win 4-2. The next over 35 match was between Antonia Hikers and Old Fort. The match was a one-sided affair as Old Forts bagged 3 field goals from John Abrams. Evan Lowe in the 21st minute highlights. And Solomon Eccles in the 23rd minute to take the game 3-0. In the men's division, there was no room for errors in the match between QPCC and Shakar. It all went QPCC way as they netted 7 goals in that half. In the second half, the defending champions, QPCC, showed no mercy as 6 more goals were added to finish the match 13-0. Here are some highlights from that match. On the women's side of the draw, GBTI GCC went up against Old Fort. GBTI GCC claimed victory with a 3-0 win, with goals coming from Fitau in the 6th minute, Javier in the 17th minute, and De Groot converting a penalty corner in the 35th minute. The hockey festival continues with games on Saturday and the finals on Sunday. Reporting for the HGP SPORTSCAST, I am Stanford Howard.
Susan Gomes has been involved in hockey in Trinidad and Tobago for 49 years and is optimistic about the improvement of hockey in Guyana. Stanford has the details.
Gomes, who started playing hockey in Trinidad and Tobago at the age of 8, but stopped playing the game because of injuries at the age of 20, took up international umpiring and retired early to become an umpire's manager.
Presently do for the Pan Am hockey area, or if I'm invited to tournaments over the world, which is always a joy for me. I continue to work with the Trans-Tobago Hockey Board as one of the umpiring officials, in the sense that I am training a lot of the young umpires. I do a lot of the appointments for our league, and that's basically what I'm doing now.
Gomes, who said she was invited by Philip Finance for the past 14 years as an umpire in the Guyana Hockey Festival, spoke about how far Guyana has progressed in terms of hockey.
I can see definitely what is happening to Guyana hockey now from when I started coming. I mean, I played against the Guyana hockey women years ago and it disappeared off the face of the earth. It was a treasure to see Guyana hockey back into the fray of things. And actually, I am quite impressed with what is happening, especially in the indoor game for Guyana, who seem to be really going leaps and bounds with the game. The amount of young players they have brought into the game, definitely that's a big plus. So you have that transition into the senior hockey. So being in the 14th year, and I'm supposed to be the umpire's manager, which is doing the appointments, helping with the appointments, helping coaching the umpires. As you see, they still pull me on the court every now and then, but I'm getting old. I really need to just sit and watch now. But it has really been a joy for me to see what Guyana hockey has really reached from the 14 years ago to currently.
When questioned about what Guyana and the Caribbean need to do to put the game of hockey higher on the agenda, here's what Gomes said.
Probably get berated for this, but I believe in bringing those officials from Europe where they are tops in hockey right now. While I mean no disrespect or no discredit to our coaches here, I still believe we need to bring in those European coaches or the Oceanic out of Australia, New Zealand, who seem to have some of the best coaches, in my opinion. I have been to international tournaments, and you can see the game. You can see the difference in them to us. And it's not only about the turf. It's also about being able to play the game, how often we can play. Remember, all of us have their jobs. We have to work. Some of those players don't have to work. Hockey is working for them. While they have their personal business organized, they can get sponsored and so forth. You have to put this full time if you want to really reach that level. But I still believe, and if Guyana can do it, because Trinidad did it a while back and we saw our progress. We are still using our local coaches, and I will give them a lot of credit, but I always still believe they could never take us to that next step. Like Argentina. Argentina is probably in the top 5 or the top 3 right now. I think they're probably number 1 in the world right now. I could be wrong, right? But that is what Argentina do. They're traveling all over the world. They're playing against all the best teams in the world, and that's the only way we could do it. Yes, we could do it against each other, and we will always have the closeness and the competitiveness to do it, but get into Dutch at the women's level, get into Argentina at the men's level, there is that big difference, but we need to pull in, to me, coaches of that level to really show us and make us understand the game.
Ms. Gomes also feels that the region can still compete with top world players, but fitness must be a priority.
Definitely. I still think I could take Trinidad and Tobago, who participated in the World Cup this year. I mean, we may have been beaten, but we gave them something to think about. And it's all about, I think, a lot about fitness as well. Because if you're not at that peak, which some of those players are, you're not going to make it. And you could run with them for the first 15 minutes, you could run with them for the first 30 minutes. But you know what's going to happen in the next 40, 45 minutes? We have lost it. And their players, all their players seem to be on the same level across the board. We have players like this, and then when we have to bring in our reserve, they're at a different level. So that plays a big part as well in the game.
Reporting for the HGP Sportscast, I am Stanford Howard.
As the school's national championships come to a close on Friday evening, the point standing as of Thursday show defending champions District 10 Upper Demerara Kwakwani leading on 416 points, with District 3 West Demerara trailing on 290.5 points, with District 4 East Coast Demerara third on 280.5 points. District 5 West Coast Berbice were in fourth on 269 points, and District 15 fifth on 260 points. We'll bring you a full update on how the action concluded in an upcoming sportscast. And finally, Bangladesh spent a solid day with the bat, ending the first day on 259 for 5 against West Indies at the Bangla National Stadium on day 1 of the second test in the tour of Bangladesh. Here's more. The Bangladesh team made a good start in their first innings on day 1. The visiting West Indies couldn't really break the home side's doggedness, even with spin, as debutant Sadman Islam spent more than 3 hours at the crease for his 76, while Shabiq Al-Hassan ended the day with an unbeaten 55. Miminul Haque and Mohammed Muthin both contributed a somewhat pleasing score of 29 each. Haque fell in the 34th over, followed by Mithun in the 27th. Bangladesh's batting throughout the day was steady, particularly Shadman, who became the 8th Test debutant for Bangladesh this year. He struck 6 fours in his 199-ball innings, spanning 3 mid-sized partnerships with Somya Sarkar, Miminul Haque, and Mohammed Mithun. Somya Sarkar, Mushfiqur Rahim, and Mahmudullah also made significant contributions of 19, 14, and 31 runs respectively. Devendra Bishu nabbed 2 for 69, with Kimar Roach assisting 1 for 38, Sherman Lewis 1 for 35, and Roston Chase 1 for 61. The teams will continue their battle over the weekend. Colin Abrams, HGP Sports. And that is the end of our sportscast for today. Remember, if your dream is big enough, the facts don't matter. Goodbye.